We're here at the Masharah Yasharahla training camp. The brother's been here since Thursday going through training. Today we're having part of the class, which is the Hebrew, because as we know, as we're building a nation, Hebrew is part of our language. Hebrew is our language, and it's a very essential part of being a nation. So I'm going to read the prologue here in the Apocrypha in Ecclesiastes to show the importance of it. It says, wherefore, let me entreat you to read this with favor and attention, and to pardon us wherein we may seem to come short of some words, which we have labored to interpret. For the same things uttered in Hebrew and translated into another tongue have not the same force in them. And not only these things, but the law itself, and the prophets, and the rest of the books, have no small difference when they are spoken in their own language. That's very important, because lately, you know, we've been seeing a lot of doctrines come out. Brothers don't know when the moon is, but all this confusion as to like even Immaculate Conception, you know, when you go back into the Hebrew and you get the true meaning of these words, you won't have these doctrines out here. That's why it's important. You can't just rely on the English translations, because, like I said over here, they labored to get some of these words translated, but some of the words they came short, so they just filled it in. So it's up to us as Hebrew Israelites to do that research and go back and find out what those words actually meant. So I'm just gonna go through, you know, basic things in the Hebrew, the alphabet, and what we're gonna go over is the Lord's Prayer. I know we all say that we all know the Lord's Prayer. We learned that from One West, but that was something that they put together. Not that it's wrong, but there is a Lord's Prayer that was translated from the Greek and also from the Hebrew. We're gonna go over that this evening. So which one of you brothers here know your alphabet? Kalatazaya. All right, let me hear you.
A, Ba, Ga, Da, Ha, Wa, Za, Cha, Ta, Ya, Ka, La, Ma, Na, Sa, Ai, Pa, or E, Pa, Taza, Kwa, Ra, Sha, and Tha.
Khan, that's very good. And like with the Hebrew, each letter has a numerical value. We're not going to go into all of those, but we go through the basics from 1 to 10. You know, you have 1, Qad, Shanya, Shalash, Shabai, Arabai, Shasha, Kamash, so on and so forth. 20, you have 20. The numbers 20 and 30, they all go, they're different letters like the Ya, the Ka, La, Ma. Those all indicate 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, all the way to 100. Then it goes on from 100 to 200, then 300, 400, so on and so forth. Tizaka, Haya, Aisha, Barataza, Kawa, Haya, Bashamayim, Nathalana. Greek translation, and there's also a Hebrew translation of what is actually written. It's a little different from what you know. Kan means also or so. So, ba arataza. Ba, preposition meaning in. Arataza is earth. So it's saying, it will come your kingdom. He will make your will as in heaven, so in earth. Let's continue. The next word you have here is ath. That word ath doesn't really mean anything in the Hebrew when it's used like this. When you see the word ath, it's telling you that the word following it is a proper noun. So you have ath, lacham. Lacham is what? Bread. So lacham is actually a proper noun. The ath doesn't mean anything. So it says bread, kak nawa. Kak is the word meaning legal or customary. In English they use what they give us to. Actually, they don't have anything in the English for that word. But kaknawa would be saying our customary or our legal portion. So it says bread, our legal portion, thun, means to give. Our legal portion give lanawa to us ha yawum, daily. So this verse here is saying our legal portion of bread give to us daily. Kan?
Con.
Next line. Wa salak lanawa. Wa is and, preposition. Salak we know is what? Forgive. Lanawa, to us. And forgive to us, like I said, doesn't mean anything. It's just referring to the word after it, which is a noun. And what's that noun? Chabawat, which is what? Debts. And it has the suffix or the prefix. Which one is that? One of them is yanawa, which is our, plural. Because debt here is pluralized. With the wat here, that makes it plural. So you have kababwat yanawa, meaning our debts. Ka'ashara. Ka'ashara is as or like. The next word is salak nawa. Salak, once again, is forgive. The nawa at the end is we. The word nawa means we, and it also means us, depending on how you use it, on whether you will use it on a verb or a noun. So this is as we forgive. So this line here is saying, and forgive us our debts as we forgive. Next line, gum. Gum is what? Also. As we forgive also, la chayabyat yenawa. Chayabyat is another word meaning lies to. Chayab is the same as chab, chababwa, meaning debt or debtors. They have the ya in there, which changes the chab from debt to debtors. So you have chayabyat yenawa, our debtors. The yenawa telling you it is plural. So this whole line would be saying, and forgive us our debts as we forgive also our debtors. And we go on, it says wala'a. Wala'a, wa is and, la'a is do not. And do not thabaya anawa. The tha, baya'a, comes from the root word ba'a, meaning to come. Baya'a baya'a is like entrance. Like you go into a store, right? You have the entrance and you have the exit. The exit means what? The way out. Entrance means to come in. So thabaya nawa means and let us not come. I know in the English it says leave, but what does Scripture say about the Most High? The Most High is not tempted, or how does that Scripture go? The Most High doesn't tempt you with evil. So the Most High is not going to lead you into temptation.
That's right.
But what we're asking the Most High is let us not come
That's right.
into temptation.
Come.
See how the difference the English and the Hebrew word is? So it's not lead. The Most High is not going to lead us into temptation. We're asking the Most High to let us not come into temptation. The next word we have la yadya. La is two. Yadya is plural for hands. So we have two hands. Nasaya one is temptation. So this line here is saying, and do not let us come to the hands of temptation. Kan? Next line. It says kaya kalatz nawa. Kaya is if, is weather. These two words basically mean almost the same thing when you look up the meanings. Kalatz is deliver. Nawa, as we know, is either we or our. But in this sense, it's used as we. So it's saying, whether if we are delivered, man is from, harai, ha is the, rai is evil, from the evil one. Kaya is for, laka, la is to, ka is you or your. So you have whether if we are delivered from the evil one, for to you. Next line, ha mamalaka. Ha is the, mamalaka is kingdom. For to you is the kingdom. Wahagabawara. Wa is again ha, I mean the. Ha is the, and the. Gabawara, from the root word gabar, meaning gabar is like warrior or like power. So you have and the power. Next word we have wahata parath. Wa again is and, ha is the, parath is glory. And the glory, la'ai walumya, the la is two. Iwalamya means eternity.
Mm-hmm.
To eternity, Iwalamyam. Iwalamyam is forever. And Aman is so be it. Aman is not going back to some Egyptian god or what people think, you know.
Right.
Like I was telling the brothers earlier, the alphabet we have here, these characters here, these were used by many African nations or Hamite nations.
Mm-hmm.
The Canaanites had it when we went in there. The Egyptians even had these. The Phoenicians, the Sumerians, a lot of nations had these characters. We wasn't the only one using the Lashawan Kodash back then.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these, that's why you have the Moabite stone. You all heard of the Moabite stone, right? It was written in what? Same characters.
Right.
The Lashawan Kodash. A lot of Phoenician alphabet, same thing. They might have it, you know, slanted a little more, you know, they might have added a little something onto it, but basically all the same characters. All these African nations used the Lashawan Kodash.
Con.
That's why, like, I was telling the brother earlier about the modern Hebrew, or what we call the modern Hebrew or the Assyrian. We adopted that back in the Babylonian captivity because, like I said, all these nations knew our language and how we spoke. So in order for us to have our own secret language, Nehemiah and Ezra came together and adopted what we call modern Hebrew or the Assyrian. Some call it the Assyrian Hebrew. You know, just like today, Esau's going to war. The other nations know English, right?
Right.
So they can't communicate using English. So what do they use?
Right.
Morse code. Morse code is something they made up so that they can communicate secretly. Right? That's what we did back then.
Right.
Today, bringing it up to today, all these nations know what? The modern Hebrew. The so-called Assyrian Hebrew.
Right.
They know how to speak that. So what do we have to do as a nation coming back together to communicate with each other secretly?
Right.
We have to go back to the original.
Hallelujah.
Why? Because they believe this is lost.
That's right.
But ain't nothing lost with the Most High.
That's right.
Because what he
That's
said in Colossians, he revealed all his secrets to his servants, the prophets.
That's right. That's
The
right.
Most High is walking us up to our true language.
That's right.
There's nothing impossible with him.
That's right.
So this is what we have to come back to in these last days, to communicate with each other.
Hallelujah.
Because we can't let our enemies know what we're saying and what we're doing.
Right.
They might hear be like, some of the elites might know it, but I know they've been studying us.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Lord, yeah.
But still, this is the way that we need to come back to our holy language, our nation, and our people. And with that,